Hello everyone, Wilmot Games here. It's been quite some time since I have made one of these videos. However, from your perspective, it's hopefully still only a single day. So during that time, what I have done is I've implemented a scoreboard system, as you can see here. So this will of course be useful in multiplayer, but single player as well. And I also need this for AI, because the AI needs it needs to know how well it's doing to do some sort of reinforcement learning. So I record the score and reinforce off that. Another feature that I've introduced is localization support. So if I go here to languages, I have a few languages. I don't really support all of these languages right now. It's just for demonstration, and there isn't really anything to translate right now. But yeah, just to demonstrate the technology. Okay, I'm going to translate these two values, damage and accuracy, and also please please take note where the comma and dot are and where the percentage sign is, because it actually changes depending on the language. Turns out in Turkey they prefer to have the percentage sign in front of the number, and also they like to swap this comma and dot. So the way these numbers and percentages are formatted actually changes depending on the language, and there's also other nuances, such as, well, the way that you count, and like subject and object, these things can get swapped around. So I found that there's a project called Boost inside C++, and they have boost.Locale. So this actually works quite well, especially if you use the ICU libraries for it. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and change to Turkish now. And okay, so unfortunately I need to shut down the game to show it. So the reason for this is that I need to upload new fonts to the GPU. Unfortunately my GUI system couldn't handle multiple fonts at once, and if I upload new fonts, then it changes the graphical state and it introduces some corruption. So the only way I could solve that is to just reset everything. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and shut down. Okay, I'm back, and by the way, perhaps you guys noticed there was a loading screen. Maybe a bit more on that later. So okay, if I show the scoreboard now, as you can see, I have some Turkish fonts now. This is G with a special sign on top of it. Not sure what it's called, but more importantly, what I want to show is that the percentage sign is now in front of the number, and the dot and comma are swapped around. Yeah, and so another thing I'd like to show is, let's try Japanese, for example. Okay, here's the loading screen again. Being able to change what's written here is quite important. The way it works in the code is, okay, so like let's say you have some source code, and then you have some strings, like you want to write out to the console, or you want to write out to a GUI application. Eventually you write it as a string, but then you don't know how to how do you swap that string for another language's string. So for that you again use boost.Locale, and then that provides a function. Like, you don't plug in the string directly, instead you plug the string into a function, and the function returns the output. So when you select English, for example, it will return the same string that you put into it. But when you select a different language, it has a map internally, and then it will swap the string that you input to the localized version. You have some .po and .mo files. I don't exactly remember. I think the .mo files are the original files, and the way you produce those is you have an application called GNU get text. What it does is it reads your source code, and everywhere where you use that special boost.Locale function, it will make an entry into a .mo file with the contents of the string, and then you'll have a different .mo file for every language, and then inside the .mo file you'll have the original string and then the translated version, and then you translate, or rather you convert this .po file to a .mo file. Roughly speaking, that's how it works. So okay, another thing I want to show is the global shadows. Let's go ahead and just improve the graphical settings a little bit. And then now there's a new feature as well called surface quality passes. So if I look over here, it's kind of rough, the surface, but if I use this setting, it becomes a little bit smoother. Maybe let's try over here. See, it's a little bit rough. And then if I set this to level 2, for example, it becomes smoother. Okay, and then also let's enable ambient occlusion. So I thought this wasn't really important, but actually it looks quite nice. And yeah, all of this is gonna make your frame rate tank, but I can't really do much about it right now. I think this game's gonna play a lot better in the future when the graphics cards are much more beastly. Okay, so global shadows. So what those are is they are very long range shadows. In the past I could only have very short range shadows, and they're also soft shadows. As you can see, the transition between shadow and not shadow is actually gradual now. Okay, let's for example fly off the edge of the world here, over here. Yeah, if I try to fall off here, yeah, unfortunately yeah, the skybox is also kind of broken. Okay, yeah, unfortunately the terrain following is still not perfect. Okay, as you can see here, all of this is now in the shadows. Well, somewhere from around here it starts to become light again. So as you can see, the shadows stretch on for quite a long distance, and that actually, it looks really nice. Let me try and disable the terrain following and then fly around. Okay, so I also have some problems with it. In particular, the edges, they have some kind of like flickering luminescence. The brightness of the edges changes, and I can actually fix this, but it's going to cost a lot more frame rates. Well, the frame rate is going to tank a lot more. But I think I'll put it in as a feature, so like a setting that you can set. So again, this will play a lot better on future graphics cards. I have actually been tuning the graphics, and I think I improved the, well, not exactly the frame rate, but the quality that you get for a given frame rate. Yeah, so nice global shadows. And yeah, I actually still have problems with the terrain following, but I have worked on it a bit. It's not exactly smoother, but it is more reliable now. It doesn't intersect with the terrain as much. Okay, maybe this is too rough. I can't really do anything over here. Let's try and go to smoother lands. Yeah, this is nice. Yeah, it's like this. Maybe I should try and make the map a little bit, yeah, like this, a little bit rougher. If I set it like this, it's smoother. If I set it like this, it's got more hills. Okay, yeah, this could be nice. Okay, yeah, so I think that's actually the main points that I wanted to discuss today. I'd just like to show you guys what it looks like from the from the desert terrain. Yeah, it's a little bit too rough here. And my terrain following isn't smooth enough to handle such a very rough terrain. I'll see if I can fix it up. Anyway, let's go to the desert right now. Okay, I'm just gonna put some... you know what? The terrain following is still on. I would be falling through the ground. Oh, yeah, falling through the continent at this rate. Okay. Yeah, I think this looks pretty awesome. Quite nice, don't you think? Okay, let's fly through. So there's actually quite a big cave system, and I couldn't really understand it until I enabled the global shadows. So yeah, this looks pretty cool. Just a shame about the flickering. I don't know, maybe it's not so bad. I think I'll actually kind of leave it as is. I mean, probably I can still improve a little bit more, but yeah, maybe it's not too bad. And there's other things I should be focusing on. Oh yeah, there's also another kind of problem. There's some sort of ghost shadows that appear. So that's the artifact of soft shadows. It's basically a soft shadow bug. Anyway, I'll see if I can improve that. Okay, so this is the cave that I wanted to show you guys. Yeah, it's quite vast. I mean, actually, from here it's not a cave, but then it starts to become a cave over here. Pretty cool, right? And then it continues, there's more. Yeah, so I wonder if this would be a good battleground. Over here it's a dead end. Actually, it's a dead end either way. But if you really squeeze through, there's some escape back to the outside world. Yeah, it's actually not this way. Or maybe this way. No, more caves. Maybe out here. Yes. Yeah, the skybox. It's broken. Anyway, so that's the state of the game right now. Yeah, if I look at this right now, I really feel like I need sunbeams. Yeah, if I had sunbeams, that would be really awesome. Anyway, not really sure if I want to spend the time on getting sunbeams working. I mean, actually, yeah, I really do. But I really shouldn't. Anyway, eventually. All in good time. Actually, you know, one thing that I really need is this terrain is kind of like dead. It's nothing moves. I need something to move. And I've had some ideas about this. Maybe like some tumbleweed. It would just basically be like a hover tank like this. You know. Okay, look, for example, I can spawn one now. Okay, there. I just changed the visual to more like a tumbleweed and have it, you know, move randomly by itself. Yeah, if I just throw a lot down like this, it would be cool. And just make it visually suit the environment. Anyway, yeah, eventually I'll get to that. Okay, anyway, so there's nothing else to show for this episode, so let me know what you guys think, and if you like this kind of content, then please subscribe, and I hope to see you guys next time. Okay, bye.